I kind of want to vent to y'all a little bit. This is gonna be like a quick one. I just want to this whole thing that's happening with Amanda Seals and Issa Rae. Like I'm gonna come back to it. I think I'm gonna talk about it. Um, how do I address this? I feel like I should preface this with I am immensely grateful, fortunate, and highly blessed, right? Like, and I want to acknowledge that I feel like it's appropriate that you could be both blessed and know that there's more for you, right? Like, and listening to like Amanda Seals, because she kind of like, she fake crashed out pretty recently. I don't want to call it a crash out because this is whole back and forth. I guess we'll make this a chat, right? She was talking about what's this lady name? Issa Rae, right? This whole conversation about Issa Rae and being left off the tour and all that other stuff. And I kind of mentioned it briefly in my last joint. And in picking that up, she came back, right? And she says that people been saying that she's jealous of Issa. And this is like her response. I guess I dropped the clip in here.
In my whole goddamn life. So for some random bitches on this internet to talk about I'm struggling in my career. Talk about I'm jealous of Issa Rae. Baby, Issa Rae managed to get her own series on television. I remember when we first met in person in 2014, and Insecure was still on the shelf. And she was like, I'm just so frustrated that I can't get them to make it. And thankfully, she was able to get it made. I have nothing but respect for the ability to get something from your mind onto the page and onto the screen. I'm an icon. When I was a child, I was on an iconic black TV show on Nickelodeon. When I see people saying Amanda Seals is struggling in her career, I'm looking around like, baby, I was only the second black woman in the history of HBO to have a comedy special, which, by the way, is absolutely absurd. I'm an icon. I was on the first season and the second season of Def Poetry Jam. I'm an icon. Like, what are we talking about? I've been on Q-Tip albums. I have opened for Paul Mooney, Chris Rock, and Dave Chappelle. I'm an icon. Don't ever get it twisted that just because I'm here hanging out with y'all, that I'm in a struggle. I have time because I'm retired. I divested from Hollywood. Okay? I was on 5 seasons, the complete series of an iconic television show. People have compared my character, Tiffany, the way I played it, in the same space as Whitley Gilbert. Dwayne, I'm an icon. Here's Insecure. These are my shoes that Tiffany wore at her baby shower. Here are some of our scripts from over the season. This was my table card on the last table read that we did. Here's a ticket from the first episode, the premiere for the first season. Here's some pictures from the party that they had for the release party, the premiere party. There's me and my lovely husband, Derek, aka Wade Elaine Marcus. Here's some photos of me and my bestie, Kiki, from these HBO parties that they would have every year, HBO Emmy parties. Jill Scott was riding with us one year, so there we go, me, Jilly from Philly, and Kiki. My mom made this for me when I got nominated for an NAACP award. There's a picture of me in the Nickelodeon studios when I was 12.
And it's this whole thing. And one of the points of the video that she shared that stood out to me was that while she despises or does not like Issa Rae at this point, Insecure is still a high point of her life. And like she holds on to the memorabilia. So while her mouth says one thing, her collectibles inside of her crib suggest that this was an important time in her life, right? And I'm sure that people will look at that and say, well, she was the one that did the work and all this other stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not taking away from that, but that opportunity or that fixture in your life is a result of the person that you claim that you don't like, right? So if that person can create such a grand or special opportunity for you, how do you have the capacity to not like them or be so outrageously vocal about who they are, what they do at the times in which their career is making pinnacle moments, such as her going on this tour and you feeling the need to hash out the fact that you don't like her and then you were excluded from this time. Thinking about that shit made me think about like my own work experiences, right? And the idea that there's certain people that have truly perfected having a problem. Like there's some people that by definition are insatiable. Like they'll always have an issue with something. They always going to bring something up. They always going to tell you that you need to change, adjust, and so on and so forth. And I've been kind of like tired and annoyed. I got a story for y'all. So I'm in the process of like helping this team grow their team, right? I tell y'all I'm in HR, so there's a certain level of experience and exposure that I have that tends to be useful. But most people underestimate the capacity of HR, where they've been and what they can do and so on and so forth. Now, typically there's a lot of conversation about how HR ain't your friend and all this other stuff. And I'm gonna tell you straight no chaser, like as a person that got into HR, like I came into HR on some Batman shit. So I had a boss that was a bitch that got on my nerves, and it led to me getting terminated along with like 11 other people, right? And that became the awakening of shifting into human resources, because I'm like, I'm never going to be in this type of situation again. But what I found is that you will always be in that type of situation, because people think that they are smarter than you, better than you, all of these different things. People feel like when they are right, they have permission to do what they want to do, how they want to do it, when they want to do it. You understand? So when people say that HR is not your friends, it's because I know for a fact, as a person that has been in HR, that there are instances in which I have put myself in the line of fire for people in defense of them because of my own bad experience, and it has yielded my own adverse outcomes. It ends up being a waste of time, because the truth is that there's some people that have perfected having a problem. And so if you make it a point to stand in people that are good at having an issue, you're just going to be adopting the issues that they have. And for what? I hate to say it like that, because once upon a time I wanted to believe that there was a version of coming in and doing the right thing, the happily ever after, right? Like one day you're gonna do all of the things and you make the right choices and you'll come across the right team, the right people, and so on and so forth. Everything's gonna be fine. But what did he say in The Dark Knight? It's either you die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. So in essence, here I am, right? I've gotten to a point where I'm like, I'm not playing with nobody's kids. I'm not playing with nobody's kids. Like, yo, you got a problem, you're gonna have to tell me how to fix it. Because I've been in too many situations where people got an issue, people want to do this, they want to do that, they don't know how to do it, but they telling you that you're doing something wrong, all kind of shit, where I'm just getting pulled and tugged by people that don't know what they're doing, but they're fixed on having a problem. So here we are. We hiring some folks. So now I've been around the block with this work shit for a while now, right? Like I've been doing this for a long time. I'm a person that takes work pretty seriously. I have a pretty good fawn response, and this is the thing that I call like hypervigilance that I tell y'all about all the time. And because of that, I pay very close attention to a lot of things. So recently I had I work with and fuck it. So I worked with this cockeyed bitch, right? And shorty kind of like, she's a person that you could tell that she's used to being the center of attention, right? So she's the kind of person that if you don't notice her or you don't pay her any attention, she assumes that you don't like her. And now the problem with people and their presumptions of not being liked, they believe that not being liked also means that people will be an antagonist. When in all actuality, that's not true, right? A long time ago, I did a video and I compared blueberries to strawberries and talking about, like, honestly, I think this video I made in like 2018 or 2019 or some shit like that. I don't like blueberries as much as I like strawberries, right? If I go into a store, I don't go into the fruit aisle and argue with blueberries about not being strawberries. I just go to the strawberries and I pick up strawberries and I get the fuck out the store. So I'm a very simple person in the sense that, like, yo, if I don't like you, I probably just won't pay you any mind. I'm not gonna antagonize you. I'm just gonna stand clear. I don't need that kind of problem in my life, right? But Shorty has this idea that I not only do I not care for her, but how somehow she's in danger because of that. Bless her heart. Yeah, I don't know why she thinks that. So she made it a thing. She made it a fuss. After she first made it a fuss and it didn't work, some time went by. I kind of just left things as they were. And very clearly, like, there's still ruckus or, noise in the wind that apparently I'm some sort of antagonist. Now, when I ask, like, what do you need from me so that this isn't an issue? They just say shit like, well, I just don't understand why you don't like me. And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? I don't want to talk. Like, I'm not your friend. I don't know you. I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. Don't ask me to be friends and I don't want to be friends. This is weird. All right. Some time go by. And it's in the past. It's like, I think we're past it, right? Frog. Shorty come through and, like, at some point, her friend pull up. And her friend is being brought in as the teeth, right? So the conversation is that we need someone that's more aggressive while I'm on the back end. And it's like, yeah, don't try to be nice when you talk to people. I'm like, all right, whatever. It happens, right? So they need this more intimidating figure. So she comes in and she takes to the bit pretty aggressively, right? Like, she takes to it and she's like, yeah, like, I'm showing up. And I noticed that she got a tendency to talk a certain type of way. I'm like, Sarah, water off a duck's back. It doesn't matter. So this is a particular window in time in which we have to work together. So there are a series of incidences that occur where Shorty it's kind of project management style. I do one part, somebody do the next part, somebody do the next part, somebody do the next part. And once we get there, it comes back to me and I finalize the steps. Go ahead. And I noticed something interesting. The cockeyed one had an issue, right? Or not, better yet, not had an issue, but fulfilled a duty at a very odd time. And because they are so attention starved or attention centered, like, oh, just see me and how great I am and how hard I work, they notified that they had completed this task at an unusual time. And I peeped it and I'm like, I'm gonna stick that in my back pocket because that's another task that I would end up having to take ownership of. It's like, that's interesting. Following day, the new friend comes in and is like, oh, Sarah, did you do X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, here go that tone again. I'll have it in a minute. And then throughout the day, every couple hours, they ask the same question. And so at some point I stopped answering them because I'm like, yeah, you're actually being ridiculous because this particular task takes several hours to do. This is not something, this is a typical 2-day kind of task. But for me, I'll get it done in a day. In addition to some other things that I got to do. Then the director of these two people come in and say, oh, it's me that's asking. So at this point, I'm annoyed, but now I see the game. So I'm like, all right, bet. I take it. And I'm like, yo, you're all set. Because I was finishing up, right? Like, it was like another 20, 30 minutes. I'm like, yo, you're all set. You do what you got to do. So the cockeyed friend and the new friend work together on this next part of the task. And what took me, I had to go through about 400 items, right? And passed off 68 for them. What took me about 7 hours to do by myself, they took about 5.5 as a unit to clean up together. And similarly to that cockeyed friend at that odd time of sending a notification, this new friend goes ahead and sends a notification at an odd time and mentioned that her and her cockeyed friend had done it together. And I'm like, that's interesting. Next day comes. So there's another part of this process that happens, and it usually has a several day turnover. Day comes and goes, and following morning rolls around. And this new friend, any updates? It's like, yeah, there's plenty of stuff going on. It's like, well, I find it funny how, this is the new friend, I find it funny that we didn't have this and we didn't have that and we didn't have this. And I was like, excuse me, so that we are clear. You just pulled off this work yesterday. Stop fucking playing with me. In so many words. Then there's this retreat, and the director is actually inside of this thread. Like, watching everything, but not saying anything. And then when I start to bite, now it's oh no, it's just, I just need this information for X, Y, and Z. So I'm like, oh, it comes and it goes. The week ends. Because I'm like, yeah, it's whatever. I don't care. I'm fucking livid because I don't like people talking to me crazy. But it happens. Monday comes around. I'm talking to a chief. We meet in the morning. He's like, yo, how's things going? Great weekend, blah, blah, blah. Now, this is where it gets interesting. He like, everything good? Everything is good. He go about his business. Next day, come and go. I'm like, it's now Tuesday. And so he's like, yo, can I have a conversation with you? So I'm going to be very honest with y'all. That can we talk thing, like that's an issue for me. So I start to have a full-blown like panic reaction. And I was like, oh no, like the ghosts of my past are erupting right now because he's asking for a meeting at an odd time. Meetings at odd time usually means something sinister is going on. But we're going to wait and see. After sitting around, he calls me up, we get on and we start talking. And he asks me about this situation. And then when I talk to him, the conversation looks a little interesting, right? Like, he's like, yo, he's like, you didn't say anything. I was like, yo, because it wasn't a big deal. Genuinely. I was like, I was annoyed. But I don't argue with stupid people. It's a waste of my time. Because remember, if I don't like you, I just don't deal with you. I reduce my interactions with you. Tell me what you need. And I'm going to pass you exactly what you asked for. So he was like, yeah, but you didn't say anything. You didn't this. I was like, yeah, because I don't want this. This is what we call a hostile work environment. For what? We work remote. I'm in my crib. I'm not about to have a hard time with people that I don't know, that I don't deal with, that don't cut my checks, that I don't break bread with, nothing like that. This is a moment. Long story complicated, in us going back and forth, I explained to him that I said, it sounds like when you speak to me, I become urgent. When you speak to them, they become fearful. And it creates a response that doesn't match, even though we are attempting to achieve the same thing. He said, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. So I'm like, yeah. My goal is not to respond to things from a fearful place, but to get things done as efficiently and as effectively as possible. We are at a point now where we are operating inside of this project. And for all of the points of contacts that we have made, I still cannot tell you, nor can they tell you, what is the thing that they are looking for so that we can pinpoint and isolate what is most likely to represent the thing that we are looking for. And I'm like, that's just the nature of it. So if we are shooting in the dark, if we are looking for a needle in a haystack, we just have to understand this is going to take longer naturally. Because again, we have failed to identify what it is that we are looking for. We are going through this process hoping to find the thing that feels right and feels good. Literally, this is what's happening. And while we walked away from that conversation with a clearer and better understanding of one another, and I've noticed a change in the approach of the cockeyed one and her friend, something that was important about that interaction is something I've been sitting with. Essentially, their interaction and what they did, it was the perfect example of triangulation. Like, I think that it is not, is it dolphins or sharks? Killer whales. It's killer whales. When killer whales are looking for a seal, right? When they jump in and they are going to attack a seal, they kind of triangulate them. They put them in a situation where if this seal comes off of this little block of ice at any point, they got no shot. Right? It's kind of like when dolphins take out a shark too, right? Like they do this thing where they flip them upside down, and when they flip them, a shark has no capacity to orient itself once they are back down, belly down, right? And it was that moment that I was like, oh, these bitches was trying to create a situation in which I have no excuse for why I didn't do something. I'm poorly communicative, and all of these things would circumstantially make sense if I wasn't a bitch that was just like, I'm doing my work and I'm not paying you bitches no mind. But ultimately, I noticed what you did. And these are managers of people. And I feel for people that work with or are led by people like this. Because when they don't like you, they start to create an idea about you and set up a series of circumstances to make that idea about you true, even though you did not participate in anything that's inappropriate. Does that make sense? And this is the first time that I've sat back and I peeped it and I said to myself, these are some bitches I would beat them the fuck up if I had the chance. Yeah. And what's so crazy is that the cockeyed bitch, she got mixed babies. Her man of choice looks like us. Ain't that something? And I've been sitting with this and bubbling, ruminating, if you will, what happened and what it means. And in essence, I'm now scanning on a consistent basis of who's a threat. And then I thought about, why isn't my misery enough? So why would I sit here and go back and forth with this shit, worried about people and what they got going on? My misery is enough. I don't need to be frustrated, annoyed, going back and forth, thinking about all this, because I'm not here to give you a hard time. Why are you going out of your way to give me a hard time? People that perfect having a problem. It's one of those things. But what's worse than that is how many different places that mindset shows up. My little YouTube channel that's generated maybe 50 something dollars, literally. 1,800 subscribers that I appreciate. Because when I think about the idea of over 1,000 people being interested in what I have to say, I still am stunned about the magnitude of that. But comparatively, most people will say that that's not a big deal. Somehow, some way, still, I have people that come into my space and say crazy shit like, have you ever been famous or dealt with somebody that has money like Dame Dash? People say that I made up, or like my vaccine injection was was liquid experiment or something like that. It was another time a young lady jumped under a comment that I made and said, y'all be so quick to throw around mental health disorders and name 5 of 9 of these symptoms and so on and so forth. I think with that young lady though, like she made the comment and happened to click my profile and then saw that I wasn't just making a comment. She deleted it, but I'm gonna share it anyway. But there are people that perfect having a problem. So I guess another part of this conversation that I want to mention is a long time ago, I made I think the first video I made was about the root word of motivation is mot, and MOT means movement. And the idea that sometimes you will mobilize people, create movement in people that does not look positive towards you. The notion of the anti anything is proof of that. People will be mobilized being against you. But you got to be tough enough to say, I don't give a fuck about nothing you talking about. But I don't know. Know the difference between somebody that is perfectly content with having a problem and if it's worth engagement. Because otherwise, you will burn out and be frustrated by the insatiability of someone that is dead set on not being satisfied. I'll talk to y'all later.